So that's Rolls Royce number 4.
I got 5.
We're here today in Central Virginia with Howard Hulvey. The best I can remember, and best Howard can remember, we met at Hershey, you know, probably 4 or 5 years ago. You meet a lot of people at Hershey, and you know what? You write down their names. He wrote down my name and I wrote down his, and we just keep it. Someday we're gonna do a barn find hunter. That day has finally come. I mean, it looks to me like you're a GM guy from the
No, I have a bunch of Fords too.
Do you really?
Yes.
Cool. Well, let's hit it.
Okay. How do you want to do it? So you just want me to tell you about each car as you walk by real quick?
First of all, tell me how you got into it. Like, how did you get into the old car hobby?
Well, my granddad was a car dealer. He owned a Ford dealership downtown. And I was a kid. I stayed with my grandparents while my mom and dad worked. And down in his building, there was a Willie St. Clair, some Model Ts, 37 Packard Convertible, and a fire engine. And I used to go play in the Roadmaster because I had leather seats and it was dusty. The steering box wasn't hooked up anymore, so you could spin the wheel like it. It was fun spinning the wheel. It's like a tiller of a ship, and that was it. And I was always just loved cars, and I ended up with some of my grandmom's and granddad's treasures also in my collection.
So this is, I mean, a friend of mine and I used to call old cars like this sheds.
They are. This is my
shed. Storage shed. You know?
Well, it's a running storage shed.
That's a running car?
Yes, it will start. If I put a battery in, it will run and go.
Wow.
And actually, I was fooling with it 2 weeks ago, and I had it running.
This car running? No.
Yeah, it will go in gear and move. It just don't stop. The best $35 I ever spent. This is a 55 Roadmaster, fully loaded hardtop.
So Roadmasters had 4 portholes. So which if the Roadmaster had 4, which car had 3?
Only special in 55. Everybody else had 4.
Now this looks like a Rolls Royce.
It by chance is a Rolls Royce.
Now what year is it?
It's an 88 with 60,000 miles on it. Everything I've done to it, I got about 12 grand in it, and it's
12 grand into a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, 12 grand in a Rolls Royce.
That grill is probably worth 12 grand.
No, you can buy it. There was a guy from Czechoslovakia sent me an email one day when I was looking for a grill for a Shadow, and he was like $1,300 with the grill and everything shipped.
So what model is this?
This is a Spur. This is a long wheelbase.
I'm going to get underneath the cover here.
Now you speak about Rolls Royce, you'll find that there's another one here.
Jeez.
This is a Spirit.
You know, I mean, I look at those Buicks up there. There's no way this guy owns a beautiful Rolls Royce. But you do. I mean, I don't know anything about Rolls Royces. What year is this one?
This is an 81. This is the first 36 of this body made. This is a very early production car. So it has some very expensive parts on it, I found out, after someone tried to steal the rack out from underneath of it.
What are they going to do?
I think the guy was going to sell it for the core fee. The core fee was like over $850. Good stuff.
So how many miles do you figure on this?
This is 80,000 on it right now.
Is that original paint?
Yes.
81, so we're going at 41 years old.
I've had it for over 20 years.
No kidding.
Yes. Now, under the covered air is a 16,000 mile 1952 Roadmaster sedan, all original, except for the trunk rib was painted, the right-hand door was painted, this fender was painted.
You got some big driving lights in
I put them on. I got those in a deal at Autocrafters. And you can tell it's a low mileage car.
16,000 miles.
You can see how nice the interior is, all original.
That's original.
Yes, it's never been touched.
So is this a V8?
No, this is the last of straight 8. This is when they put the big 4-barrel on.
A 4-barrel on a straight 8, no kidding.
It's got power steering, it's a 52.
52, automatic. Dynaflow is
Dynaflow, yes. And now into the shed we go. I hope you all got good lights. This is a 55 Super 2-door hardtop. It was in a field in Elkton when I bought it.
Elkton, we were there yesterday.
I paid $200 for it.
$200. So this is last on the road?
No, it's fully licensed. It's got antique tags on it.
Okay.
I did run it with regular tags for a little bit.
Did you paint it?
Yes, I had a friend of mine named Bobby Campbell, who is now deceased, paint it. He threw the paint job on. This is actually Rust-Oleum red, was the closest red I could find. And we painted it that, and it's been shiny ever since.
So I take it I'm next to another Rolls Royce here.
How you figure that?
Well, I saw RR.
It's a dead giveaway. Yeah, there is one here.
Oh, man.
I hope you're not too unhappy. It's a different model.
So let me guess. 39?
51.
Really? Wow.
It has a right interesting history. It was bought by a real estate company in the late 50s and imported over. It runs and drives.
Can we see the motor on this thing?
Certainly. There you be. And yes, that's a BMW part I used there. The original rubber thing gave out. But it's a straight stick. It's adequate, as they say. It gets me down the road okay.
Not a speed demon or anything?
No, it's a 4-speed transmission. And it's the shifter's over here by the door. So you're sitting in the car and you're going down the highway there. And it's a pretty interesting machine driving. Brakes are not the greatest. Only thing only concern.
And that's a special carburetor. It looks like it's a 2-barrel.
Yeah, but guess what that carburetor is? This will fit on, and it's identical to
Volkswagen,
Buick.
Okay.
So, yeah, he called me. They said it needed some parts, and they was working on it. I took a Buick carburetor over, and they had the pieces that needed. It had backfired on the previous people, and it burned up inside the carburetor really bad.
Oh wow!
And melted it, and then so I had the pieces to fix it.
So this is this is the third Rolls Royce we found in here. Jeez.
Yep, you'll find more. I hate to tell you this, I do have a few more.
Wow. All right, so here's don't tell me, 3 portholes, so it's not a Roadmaster. What was it, a Century that had 3?
There was no Century in 53. It was only Specials, Supers, and Roadmasters. Yeah. Now this is my grandmom's car, my mom's car, and of course it's my favorite year Buick.
Which is what?
50.
So is that dark green?
Yes.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Verdi green.
This Buick love affair you have is like in the blood, so to speak, from your parents. Now here we have a Model T coupe.
Yeah, it's a gray and black originally. My granddad was a Ford dealer, and this is one of his. Over here we have a 69 Buick Convertible. It's a Sabre.
You know, I would just like to take this thing outside and wash it.
You might get a job, come back. I'm gonna get all this out and put a concrete floor down.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna go right down here.
That's where you grew up?
This is where I grew up.
Is this the driveway?
Yep, that's the driveway. You see where the wear is right there. See where the...
Okay, got it.
Okay, outside we have an international truck my daddy got years ago. We hold water on it and tractors and stuff and hay. And it's been in the family forever. And it's got 24,000 miles on it.
Chrysler International Plymouth Harrisonburg, VA. Is that amazing?
Yeah.
Do you have any problems with people coming by here and shopping for parts?
Yes, I have thieves all the time.
So what's significant in this building?
We have a Model T touring car, 26. It was made into a pickup
truck.
truck.
Touring car?
That was a touring car.
So that was the back of the seat, and there was a body out here. I bet that would run.
It does run.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It had good tires on the front, but somebody decided they wanted them more than I did.
So a Model T is something that never was very powerful, but they never stopped running. I mean, who knows how long it's been sitting here? Who knows how long it's been since it's run? But I bet with a squirt of gas.
About a year ago.
A year ago? A squirt of gas and a hand crank, that thing would be firing up. You have the most eclectic taste in cars I've ever seen. So I'm going to say that's a Chrysler right there, right?
It is, 55 DeSoto. There's a 64 Buick up here and a S10 truck.
Has anybody ever broken into this?
Yes, this is the last one they broke into.
Damn. How big is this building? 40 by 60?
Something like that, 48 by 60, I think.
Oh, geez, another Rolls.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
And you got a flying lady on there.
Yeah, afraid so.
So, okay, another Rolls.
Shadow.
It's got quad headlights. What year is that one?
74.
74. And is this the first one you owned?
No. I bought this off that guy in Fontwell.
And that's a big V8 in there?
Oh yes, a 414 cubic inch V8.
Does it run?
Yes.
That's a requirement of yours, I guess.
Yes, because how I jam them in here, and I like to get them out every once in a while. Even I don't run them on the road, I'll run them out in the field. Found the key. That'll help you some.
So that's Rolls Royce number 4.
I got 5.
Gee.
And this is my mom's Mercury Monarch. It's a 18,000 mile car. It's all original paint.
And what year is that?
77.
18,000 miles. Boy, you got some low mileage cars here.
Limousine's got 80,000 miles on it. It's got the Rexon panels in the doors for bulletproofing. It's an odd thing. Doesn't have bulletproof glass, but it's got those panels in it.
So anybody famous could hold around in that?
Yeah, Senator Byrd from West Virginia had it for a couple of years.
Gee.
Go ahead and walk through all those.
Yeah, so you got another green, Verdi?
Verdi Green, 51 special. I bought this all at Bruce Elder a number of years ago. It needed brakes and a clutch and a battery, and tuned it up and cleaned out the gas tank, drove it a little bit, and that was it.
Nice interior.
Nice car.
Yeah, yeah.
84 Grand Prix I bought new.
This car, what attracted you to buy that car new?
It's an Indianapolis edition model. One of 4 were made.
One of 4, wow.
Yes.
So this was the pace car that year?
No,
Right?
this was a complimentary car. This actually just sat out there. They had Pontiacs, D's and Parisiennes and 200s or 2000s and something else they put on display.
So you bought a new car, but it wasn't a Buick?
Well, I bought the Pontiac because I drove in, my friend had one of these and I liked driving it. And I said, I'll just stop and see if I can buy one. The guy said, we got this odd one upstairs you ought to look at. It was such a plain car, I didn't think it would ever sell it. It was like $14,000 on the sticker. And I said, well, I don't think I wanted it for that kind of money. He said, what would you give? I looked at it and, I was thinking my old dealer had, I said, $10,000 cash. And he said, I'll go talk to the manager. He comes back, you can have it for $10,400. So I got it.
Jeez.
And I drove it a little bit and there's
And 3,500 miles.
3,600 and something.
And so what's Lincoln? What's the deal with that?
63 Lincoln Continental. It belonged to my good friend Don Chris. He bought it new. It's got like 47,000 miles on it. Notice it has the rear option, right-hand mirror.
Is that right?
Yep.
That's a 430 in there or something?
430, yep.
I don't know how many cars I've seen so far today, but there's a bunch here. I like to ask this to everybody with a collection. If I took all your cars away and you could have one back, what car, have I seen the car that means the most?
Yes.
Which one?
A green Buick Special sitting in my garage down there. It was my mom's car.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. There's a white Buick over here was passed by, or a white blue. It was the one I came home in the hospital in. I have a picture of it. It was my granddad's Buick.
Ah, jeez. All right, so how did you get back there?
Over to Rolls Royce. I'd show you. I would go through the car, but someone screwed the door up one that I had up here one day.
Yeah, I visited a guy once. I had to slide through the Buick Riviera front seat to get to the other side.
Okay, you need a hand or anything? I'll make sure you don't fall.
I'm good. As I break my leg.
Don't do that, please. There's a 55. This is my grandmom's car.
So a nailhead 55, 3 portholes.
Yep.
When I mention a nailhead Buick, let me show you what that means. So most V8s you see have a canted valve that goes in from like a 45-degree angle. But the Buicks, and I'm not sure why they did that, but the valves go up and down like a nail. Almost look like the valve almost like a nail that you'd be hammering in. And that was Buick style from what,
53 up.
53 to the mid 60s?
66 was last year, a nailhead.
So there was a drag racer that I wrote a book about, Tommy Ivo, and
he had one with a multiple of
4 of them. He put 4 of those babies in a dragster, 4-wheel drive dragster, crazy. But you know what? He said that the Hemi dragsters, they'd sit there spinning their wheels, and he'd put it in second gear, not first gear, and he'd beat them because they were just sitting there spinning their wheels. If you bring that camera over here, you can see the front end of this thing. It's such a stylish front end. So as I just was informed, 63 and 4, there's a 64 had headlights exposed, 65 of their headlights hidden behind these grates, and they weren't. I guess they went down. They went down and exposed the headlights. This was such a styling breakthrough for GM. At about the same time they came, the Corvair was new. GM came out with a 215 aluminum block V8. They came out with the Riviera, which was like a piece of sculpture on the road. The Oldsmobile Tornado. I mean, all this, for a while there, early to mid 60s, GM was like breaking the rules, which I'm sure was their goal. Before that they were a little bit boring, and after that they were a little bit boring. But during these years, would you agree that they were
very exciting cars?
Yeah.
63, 4, and 5 were some of the most exciting cars to Buick, I thought.
So if you could have any car new from the GM lineup, Buick lineup, whatever, what car would you pick to be? That's the car I would buy brand new.
If I could go back into a 1950 showroom.
So you're still a 50 guy, 1950 guy.
50 Buick is my favorite car. It's the one I get the most.
Okay, so what would it be? What model?
If I could buy probably a Roadmaster 2-door hardtop with power windows, power seat, you know, all the bells and whistles.
So that's what you would buy. No, you wouldn't get a Riviera. Isn't that something? I met Howard at Hershey half a dozen years ago. I don't know what it was. I mean, I have to say Howard was more persistent in staying in touch with me than I was staying in touch with him. And he said, you know, don't forget, if you're near me in Virginia, you know, I got some cool stuff. I got some cool stuff. But I have to thank you so much for staying persistent and say, come and visit me, because it's pretty darn cool. Yeah, no, you got. So we've seen 4 of the 5 Rolls Royces he's got. And the last one's what, a 28 Rolls Royce. Unbelievable. And then there are a couple of other cars in his collection that he promises me that we can see next time we come through, which are like spectacular. So listen, if somebody calls you and says, I've got some neat cars, maybe it's worth spending time going over there and checking them out. Happy hunting. What is it about Buicks? Is it just that your family was in the Buick business?
I like Buick. They always were reliable to me, always ran good. They had a style that was unique.